27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 9 of Connection Interruption. I am glad to be back, and with me, I also have touched artist Ryan. He's here. Tay is running late. Got caught up with work, so he'll be joining us later. But all three of us would like to thank Frisch's and Game Day for having us on for 89th episode. This episode, we are going to be catching up on our games of the year so far, what we think are taking these top spots in certain categories and genres and what have you from games from 2021. And a lot of them will be serious contenders that will last all year, and some of which, have some big competitors coming in towards the end of the year. So me personally, I think, some of these spots will probably get washed, and then some of these other ones are here to stay. So we're here to talk about it. Ryan, jump on in here, and we can start talking about what we're playing currently.
What is up? How goes it?
It's going good. I've been able to play a lot more than I have been the last, month or two. So Steam summer sales here. There's a lot to be excited about.
You spent some serious coin though, right? Did you buy a decent amount?
I mean, a decent amount, but not serious coin spent. Fortunately, I wasn't out there buying a bunch of AAA titles or anything. A bunch of just smaller games. Like, wow, this looks fun. $5 here and there. So
$5 games are solid though. You can get some good stuff. Like,
oh yeah,
I say that a lot. Like, I buy a ton of stuff on Switch when it hits like. Sometimes you get them for $1.99. It'll be like 90% off. It's usually a $20 game. You can get it for $2.
Right.
I'll snatch those up in a heartbeat.
I think I got Firewatch for $5. I've always wanted to play that. I haven't played that. Have you seen that at all?
It's beautiful.
That's what I'm saying.
It is beautiful.
I got Elder Scrolls Online for like $8.
Have you played that yet?
I've played about an hour of it so far.
What do you think?
I don't know if I've played it enough. It's just gonna be like one of those games where I'm just, if it's late at night and I don't know what else to play, I'll just sit on that. So
okay. I played that game at launch and it was garbage. And I never ever went back to it, but people keep telling me like, hey, you gotta come back. So it'll be interesting to see what you think of that one.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of thought the same thing. Like, I kind of wanted to get it at launch, and then I waited, saw bad reviews, and I was like, okay. And then apparently it got a lot better. And a lot of my friends told me to get it. So I did. I don't plan on paying like the monthly fee or whatever. I've heard that you can like still play like the main game or something like that.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay like the $15 a month. So I'm not gonna be hitting it that hard. The two other games I got that are similar, it's called 0 Hour. I don't know if you've seen it, but
I haven't seen that one. I've heard of it, but I have yet to see it.
So it's what I wanted Rainbow Six Siege to be. It's literally like a carbon copy, like as far as the game mode, like how it works and stuff like that. And the only difference is there's not a bunch of like operators with like really weird stuff, like, oh, we put a window in the wall, you got stuck in sticky glue, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's nothing like that. It's very just tactical, like go in and you do your thing. And it's not a whole lot of other stuff going on there. The other one that is similar to that is called Intruder. I haven't played that yet, but it's like, from what I understand, kind of similar, except it's like defenders versus spies, and you're like trying to sneak into
Okay.
areas and stuff like that. So I'm hoping to play that soon, but it's pretty similar to 0 Hour. Then I think I've been really wanting Red Dead Redemption 2 on PC, and I want to go revisit that. So that was the biggest one I got.
Do you have that on?
I have that on PlayStation 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've already played through it once, or
Yeah.
is this okay?
Yeah.
So I got it on PlayStation at launch, and then I bought it on PC as well when I got my PC, like a little bit after, like, because I was like, I want to see the difference. It is a completely different looking game, and that's not to be said that like the PlayStation version isn't any good, because it's gorgeous. It literally does use the full power of the PS4. But to see that game with all of its shadows and all the rendering like on PC, it's just like watching a completely different game.
Right. And that's why I really wanted it. So we're gonna see. I also got Dark Souls 3. I've been wanting to do that just because it's such a hard game. I'd love to be able to like kind of tackle that a little bit here and there. So
Souls games are not my friend.
Yeah, I'm just probably not gonna be my friend, but we're gonna try it. We're gonna see what happens.
Yeah. And there's the Souls games and I have a love-hate relationship. I think that they're fun to watch other people play. But I hate them. Like, and I'm pretty sure I've said this on a previous episode before, but I broke a controller playing Bloodborne.
Gotcha.
So
yeah.
Like the only time I've ever physically damaged one of my controllers intentionally. I guess you could say it was intentionally, but
hiking it into the ground.
Yeah, like I bounced it off the table in front of me. But I get more power to the people who can play those games, because I am not that person. Like, definitely not.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna see what happens. Hopefully I can beat it, but we'll see. I mean, who knows? I could get stuck at the first boss and then just never play it again.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to hear like how it goes for you, because I just could not I cannot get into this as much. And I've watched people play them. Like, man, this looks really cool, and I love the art style and stuff, but I am just no good. Not at all.
So yeah, as far as I'm playing, I'm still doing Rocket League. Actually, I've been playing a lot of Valorant. Never thought I'd be doing that, but my one friend talked me into it. The game's a lot easier than CS:GO by like a large margin. It's just it's a different game, but I'm actually enjoying that. I got to play Silver 1, so we'll just see where that leads in the next coming months. But
speaking of placement, I saw Diamond on Rocket League for you. Is that
Yes, that's first time ever.
That's a big deal.
Yeah,
I'll never get there, so it's a big deal.
a lot of credit goes to my one friend who pretty much carries me. But I try to hold as much of my own weight as I can.
Yeah, I mean, I get carried whenever I'm in with anybody else, so I get that.
But so, what have you been playing?
Oh man, I have a pretty hefty list this time as well. The holiday weekend was nice to kind of sit down and play some more, like more than usual, I guess.
Right.
I even was guilty of taking my Switch to a cookout on the 4th of July, and I played some Mario Golf. I did break down and get it. I contemplated not after seeing some of the reviews. They're pretty spot on. So, I mean, the review of a 6 is pretty accurate.
Right. Okay.
The regular golf is fun, just the regular style. I really despise the speed golfing thing. Like,
is the speed golfing where it's like a race almost?
Kind of.
Kick each other. I was watching it on Twitch, and I watched someone kick the other person's ball.
Yeah, you can run and get over, like, you can bump into them. If you run behind somebody, you can draft. It's like Mario Kart. Like, you can run behind them and then pass them.
Okay.
And it does make a difference. You get points for finishing early. You get points for like being the least number of strokes.
Okay.
And I mean, it's kind of an interesting concept, but there's a story mode in the game, so you can build your own character. And it's an interesting thing. Hi, Tom. Hi, Rainbow Dash. I'll say hi. We'll stop rating. Yeah, it's really an interesting one because I don't hate it. I don't love it, but my love for Mario.
Right.
So there's a lot of that going on. I broke out my Vita for the first time in a really long time.
Okay. What game drew you back to that?
Lumines Electronic Symphony. It's a puzzle game.
Okay.
I'm not very good at it. I love the music in it. I won't even show a video of it because it'll get us dinged immediately.
Right.
The music in it is phenomenal. I think it's a really, really cool game. It brought me back to it so much so that I actually went, they did a remaster of it on Xbox.
Okay.
And it was on sale this weekend for like $10. And I was like, yep, I'll do that. Because I enjoy it so much on the handheld. I was like, man, it would be cool to play on the big screen behind me, you know, like, so I played some of that. I played some Tetris Ultimate on Vita. I will continue to beat the drum for the Fixture S1. It's not down here. I think it's upstairs at this point. Like, I have played so much more Switch out of the dock since I got that. I showed it off in the first episode.
Right. Yeah.
It is the best way to play the Switch by far.
Oh, I don't even doubt it.
Like, I love the Pro controller. It feels so comfortable in your hands, and you can adjust that screen. I should have brought it down, but I literally left it sitting upstairs.
Yeah. So going back to the Mario Golf, I know some people who have been really getting into it. They been making date nights out of it and stuff with people and whatnot. But
yeah, I think that could be fun. I think playing it multiplayer in like the same area could be a lot of fun.
Right. Like, they were, dressing up and like getting in golf clothes and whatever else, and just making a whole thing out of it. And so, I mean, so I saw Mario Golf the same way I figured like Mario Party is it's fun, but it's not a game you can play every day.
Yeah. I mean, maybe if I get past this whole cross-country golf thing in the story mode, like where I'm kind of stuck right now, like I've played that thing. You have 40 strokes to get through 9 holes. And I've tried some different ways to do it, and I still haven't made it through. But your character doesn't have much power and doesn't have much accuracy that early on.
Yeah,
because you're playing with your Mii, so you're trying to build it up. And I think if I had some more power, that mode might be more fun. But some of the holes you got to hit, like I feel like you're hitting three shots to even get remotely close to the green. And then you're putting yourself in a situation where you have to one putt. Like,
gotcha. And you're sweating from the forehead.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. I shouldn't feel this way.
Right.
And I think it's fun. I think I eventually will really get into that mode. But it's gotta. I don't know. I'm just kind of struggling with it right now. Mainly because I feel like they kind of are pushing that mode too much at you early.
Right.
They're like,
oh, play
like
this.
You have to do this. And it's like, I just want to golf, man. Like, and you can go outside the story mode, obviously, and just play the regular golf mode, but there's only 2 courses unlocked at the beginning of the game. So my guess is basically, and I haven't really looked into it a whole lot because I was like, oh, well, there's 2 courses. So I'm guessing I have to go through the story to unlock the other ones.
Right.
Which would be fine.
Are you much of a golf person anyway, or no?
I mean, I play the 2K golf game pretty much, and I know Tay does too. We've talked about that before. I like golf games. I enjoy them. I just don't know that like, I don't like to golf personally. Like, I don't like to go golfing, but I enjoy the golf games themselves. I think as a golf game, I think it's okay.
Right.
You know, like I have Hot Shots on the Vita, or Everybody's Golf, depending on who you talk to and where they've played it from, and on PS4. And I've played. I used to have the Lynx games back in the day on PC. That's really aging myself because I know those haven't been around for a long time. I probably bought every other Tiger Woods game. Like, Tiger Woods was a sports game that I would buy every other year. Because they wouldn't do enough to back then. Yeah, because it wouldn't do enough to improve from year to year. So if you bought it every 2 years, you could kind of get something out of it.
Okay. Otherwise, essentially, it's the same game kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well,
so I mean, I play a decent amount of the golf games. So I mean, I would say as a golf game, it's okay. And I don't know how it's going to be multiplayer as I get into it, but I'm sure as more people pick it up, I'll probably get into it a little bit more.
Now, speaking of the Switch, did you want to talk about the newest Nintendo news?
I'm so disappointed.
And why is that?
I was so hoping they were going to be like, hey, there's going to be new hardware.
Yeah.
Like, for those of you that don't know what the news was, if you missed out or living under a rock and haven't been on Twitter watching all the Nintendo fans freak out, they're putting out a new Switch with an OLED screen, which will improve battery life.
But here's the kicker, though. You hear, new OLED screen, and you're like, that is going to be a better picture, which, yeah, may be true a little bit, but it's still 720p on the handheld.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, it helps battery life, cool, but I don't think it's going to be enough where people would even notice the difference in battery life.
Yeah, so I haven't really gotten into it enough to look even. My question is the screen the same size? As far as the unit itself, I mean, you can tell that the Joy-Cons will fit in it in the same way, but like, is it wider or is it exactly the same size with a less of a bevel? Because I haven't looked enough into it yet. Because here's my concern: I love that fixture S1 so much as far as using it. If the new one doesn't fit in it, it's a no-go. Like, I will not play it. Like, I very rarely play with Joy-Cons attached.
Now, the only reason I could see that happening is if Nintendo's like, oh, check out what we made, and it's like the same like fixture S1 or whatever you said. You know what I mean? Like I could. The only reason I think that they would do that is so they could sell their own and be like, oh yeah, check out this new controller.
Yeah, that would be annoying to me though. Like that. I mean, they've done a good job. Fixture S1 did a good job of putting that out and getting it out timely, getting it into people's hands. You know, Fixture like, and again, they're not a sponsor of the show. I've been singing their praises from day one. Once I got that, I think it was on the first episode we talked about it. We're 9 episodes in. I'm still beating that drum.
I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah. Well, I found it. Andrea Renee from the What's Good Games podcast talked about it on an episode, and I was like, wait, what? I can do what? And then I was like, all right, well, let's see how much this thing is. And I'm like, I think it was like $30. So I'm like, worth every penny. Like, it's the best accessory that I bought for the Switch other than the Pro Controller itself. So if I can't play it like with that piece, like it's going to be a deal breaker for me. Right.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I feel like Nintendo was past the ball, and then they just kind of dropped it, you know?
Yeah, and they had a chance to really make it interesting for people because they could have put together like a 4K dock, you know, like something that upscales to 4K.
You know, was the last episode or the episode before where we were literally talking about that?
Well, yeah, I mean, we were speculating that, hey, they may do that. And then all the indicators after E3 were like, yeah, that's not going to happen.
Right.
And I have one of my coworkers just bought a Switch, and then the next day they announced the new one with the OLED screen. And I leaned back out of my cube and I was like, I'm sorry, I know nothing about the industry and I apologize. Because I just said, like, since they hadn't announced yet, like, I just couldn't imagine them putting anything else out there, you know, like, They didn't announce, they didn't have anything new to show, so obviously there's nothing coming. And then the next day after he got his Switch,
Right.
and they announced, and I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Right. Unfortunately, this is kind of how it goes. But
yeah.
the only thing that would have really benefited, is the fact that the original Switch will maybe be cheaper. But I also feel like that's not really Nintendo to do that. So
yeah, not at all. Not at all. They consider their games and their hardware to be valuable, right?
Right.
So you very rarely see their stuff on sale, like even on the eShop.
Right.
But speaking of which, there's a really cool sale right now for anybody who's been kind of like eyeing one of those Mario Karts. The little like remote control one.
Oh, yeah.
So it's $25 off right now at GameStop. So I looked to see if it was elsewhere. It's only a GameStop deal.
Now are those worth it?
I love it. I think it's super fun. I think you need some space. You cannot really run it on carpet.
Okay. So hardwood tile and a big room.
Laminate, a decent sized room. I think it's a really cool thing. I think they missed the boat a little bit by making it to where it's only like 4 gates large. Like if I have a Mario set and a Luigi set, I would really like to be able to combine it and make the track bigger.
Okay.
Like let's say I got 2. I only have 1, right. But let's say I got the Mario one. Let's say I got the Luigi one as well. I would just like to be able to combine those 2 sets and make a longer track.
Right. No, that makes sense.
Maybe that's just not doable. Like I'm not a programmer, so I don't know.
Right. Maybe they tried and tried. And
they could have very well come up with an idea and they were like, let's see if we can do this. And everybody was like, nah, fam, it's not going to work.
Right.
And then they have some other first party games that are on sale at GameStop and Best Buy right now, which was kind of a shock. Mario Odyssey is like $20 off. Fire Emblem 3 Houses, which is probably one of my favorite Fire Emblem games ever.
I don't even get on my Switch enough to like catch like some of these like deals or new games.
Well, and a lot of people don't, and that's kind of why like I'm kind of the Nintendo guy. We've got our niches, right? Like I seem like I'm kind of the Nintendo guy. You're the PC guy. Tay tends to roll in the PlayStation side of things. And my kids keep me up to date on what's going on with Xbox because they're on those constantly. And that also means that I have to kind of go behind them and double check and make sure things are copacetic because I've got 2 little ones, Right. So, and then the older one just can pretty much do whatever, but I always have to double check the games that are on sale on Switch because some of them like you don't ever see. Like I never thought I'd see Luigi's Mansion for $40. Luigi's Mansion 3. I thought that game was phenomenal.
Okay. That is one I want to visit eventually. I need to beat all my other games right now first.
Yeah, and I have that issue. So, and I used to say this all the time. Like I'm a broken gamer because of the years of working at GameStop and being in retail and having to tell people like, hey, this game's good. Hey, this game's not. Like I'd just play for a couple hours.
Right.
And just kind of get a feel for what I'm playing and then kind of dump it off to the side. There are very few games that I just sit and finish. Fire Emblem is one of those. And then I found out after finishing it, like there's 3 different full stories. Like, and I'm like, there's no way I'm going back and playing that 2 more times.
Right.
I loved the way it went the first time through, but I don't think I could, even as much as I loved it, I don't think I could go back and play it.
Right.
3 times.
I don't know how like people go back and will play games for like different endings.
Yeah.
That's just not me. I'm like, I'll just watch the YouTube ending. I'll just go on YouTube and watch the ending.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, that's how it could have ended. Cool. Like,
yeah. Well, like people are going back and playing Mass Effect again. Because the remaster's out, and we'll talk a little bit more about that because that's a sticking point for me on the possible Game of the Year contenders.
Yeah, see, I have that on my list as 2. It kind of feels like cheating, but I'm like, it's not.
Like we already know it's really good.
Right. It looks even better now.
Yeah, like where does it fit? So, but yeah, I mean, as we continue to go through some of that stuff, we know that we'll hit some of those. But I was hoping Tay would be in by now because I've got a few more that I'm playing, but it's nothing like that really stands out. I played some Hearthstone for the first time in a really long time.
How was
Logged
that?
in. I logged in and was super frustrated because a bunch of the cards I really liked are now no longer in the game. It was like, hey, these cards have been
Really?
like wiped out, and I was like, all right. But I mean, it's been maybe a year and a half since I've played that.
Right.
So it's a completely different game. And I'm not nearly as competitive at that as I probably should be. And I like Magic the Gathering. I've played some of that on PC. On PC, I tend to go with card games, strategy games, and some shooters off and on. Right? Like,
Right.
Completely different than what I would play on console. As far as cards and strategy, like you would never catch me playing, like, well, maybe Uno with the kids on Switch, but like I just have zero interest in playing card games on the Switch. But I played, like, I think Hearthstone is really, really interesting. I still don't understand the concept of buying digital cards.
Yeah, I mean, I do, but it's like I don't I totally understand it, but I could just never bring myself to it. But
right, that's
then
what
again,
I
I
mean.
don't play
Yeah,
the
like
game that much.
I get that people buy them because they want to have certain cards in play, but like I have a really hard time dropping money on card packs, I guess is the better way for me to say it. Like the card pack thing is just, and I don't do it on FIFA either. We've had that discussion before. Like for
Right.
Ultimate Team, like I just won't do it.
So like Hearthstone, it makes sense. Whereas Ultimate Team, like it's not going to be there next year,
Yeah.
and that hurts. And so like things like CS:GO and stuff like that, like I will convince myself that
Right.
oh, okay, and but yeah. So I totally understand for Hearthstone, but would you like to start talking about our Game of the Year list?
Sure.
Tay's not here, but
Before
for
we
about
do
half
that,
an
though, I
hour.
want to throw up a quick ad. I know everybody loves when we do ads. But there's the Brawl at the Bonfire Trios Warzone tournament that's being hosted and presented by Las Vegas Inferno. They have a partnership with Game Day. You can check out more information by going to virtualreload.com. Brawl at the Bonfire.
Very nice. Yeah. I might have to try to get in on that myself. It's because that one happens late enough to where I could actually make it work.
Yeah, it's a 5 p.m. Eastern start.
Yeah,
Right.
and like
So,
that. See, I work Saturday mornings. That's why I haven't been able to play in the Rocket League ones. But
yeah,
I mean, a Call of Duty tournament I can get behind. I feel like I got a better chance at that. So, I might have to find two friends and take a crack at it.
yeah, it could be interesting. I mean, we'll see if that picks up, and I would guess that it's going to be pretty solid.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm going to probably get whooped, but I guess I'm gonna have to start practicing.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we wanted to definitely talk about that. And then we're still waiting, and we're working on Tay's new series called Hot or Not, which we've talked about on the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
So keep an eye out for that. That should be coming out here soon. Kind of a cool concept. So some different things, like whether Tay thinks that it's hot or not. But yeah, let's jump right in as we get ready to jump into our possible games of the year in different categories. If you want to pick a category or a genre and we can start, I'm all for it.
We can just start from the top. We got Action Adventure Game of 2021. But real quick, let's see, hold on. I'm sorry, looking at Taste, a deal. he said he will have his PC by this week, right? I want to talk about that right before you continue, because he said he'd have it by this week. So we're gonna have to grill him when he gets in here.
Yeah,
wanna
no,
bring
I
that up.
know. Yeah, no, I trust me, it's on my list of things to do. Like, I don't know if he's gotten to it or what. He had an interesting like couple weeks. So
Gotcha.
yeah, we'll see if he made it out to Micro Center or whatever he decided to
Right.
order or whatever. But yeah, like let's jump in. Action adventure game. Such a wide category, right?
It's kind of a coverall in a way, right?
Yeah, it's like, hey, I can't think of where to put anything else. Like what category this could fit into. So let's put it in action adventure.
Right.
I had 2 for this category. One that I actually put on the list, and the other one I didn't because I had a feeling it might be yours.
Okay.
But it could fall in another category. So I had Ratchet and Clank, Rift Apart. Like I really think that's probably one of the best, like I would say action adventure platformers, that I've played in a long time. I will finish that game this coming weekend. That's a guarantee. Like I jumped in for a little bit over the weekend, and I know I didn't talk about it on what I'm playing because I knew it was going to come up here.
Right.
But I love it. Like I have not been a huge fan of Ratchet and Clank leading up to this one, so some of the purists may not enjoy it as much, but I think it's pretty good.
So for mine, which that's a great pick, by the way. I really like it. Beautiful game. Mine is Subnautica Below Zero.
Okay.
So
yeah, that's a good one too. Like I've seen a ton of people playing this, but I haven't jumped in on myself.
Right. So I've always watched this game. I've never got into it just because it seems like a hefty game to like. It seems like you can take your time with it, but it's just one of those games like, okay, this is going to require a decent amount of time and a decent amount of like kind of, I guess we'll say passion towards it. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to pin it. I'll play it eventually. But it's one of those games too where it doesn't have a whole lot of story. So you're not going to get anything really that's spoiled. So I really like watching it. I mean, the game's pretty, and I just feel like it really fit that category perfect of just action and adventure. It's really all the game is, provided there's no, like I said, no story. But
yeah,
it also, I don't know when the first one came out. I'll look it up real quick.
The first one was a couple years ago,
2018. Right?
Yeah.
Like so, and I remember when that first came out, it was buzzing, and apparently the second one has more story to it, but people still recommend playing the first one. So if people are looking at getting Below Zero, play the first one first. Both on sale right now, on the Steam Summer Sale.
Cool. So the one that I thought you might mention here, but it could fall into another category, is It Takes Two.
Yeah. So if you want, we can just jump straight to it. I said that's best co-op.
Okay, that's the one that I had. Like, so that was the only one that I could think of that I was like, okay, that's the co-op game. But yeah, I was really questioning where that would fall.
There was one other one I thought about for action adventure, but I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. But
yeah, I had another one, like, but it's only because I didn't know where else to put it either, because we didn't have best RPG as a category, which we're kind of lacking. Like, that's my fault.
It's in there now. No, it's in there now. What's your best RPG? I'll come up with one on the fly.
So this throws another wrench in the plan, because we've already talked about, do remasters count?
Right.
Kingdoms of Amalur: Re-Reckoning could fall into a number of categories. I don't know if it falls into like action adventure or whatever, but I think it's a solid RPG because there's leveling and quests, and I think for me that's the what sells it. And it came out on Switch.
Okay.
And on the 16th of March. I know it was like the weekend of my birthday. Like, so I think it was like March 16th. But I loved that game on 360 when it came out originally. So to have it on the Switch has been really, really cool. I don't think it's the most beautiful game I've ever played. But I like the colors. I think visually it's pleasing, but it's not like, oh my God, that's the most beautiful game I've ever seen.
Right.
But I think it falls into that category of something that like normally I wouldn't play, but I really like this one. So that's kind of where it hits. But I don't know where it technically falls in the realm of any game of the year category. It won't hit on anybody's list because it came out on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One back in September of 2020.
Right.
So it's already missed its shot.
Yeah. Which, any game that came out in 2020, I mean, in my opinion, should have another chance in 2021. But, I think at the same time, it'd almost be pointless just because any game that comes out this year is probably going to beat any game that came out last year just because of effort and more time to work on it, etc. But if I was going to pick a best RPG, and now I believe this pick will probably get washed out late this fall, but just due to like, almost lacking of RPGs, I feel like early on, I would probably say Biomutant. And now I know that game kind of got mixed reviews and stuff like that, but
I wound up not playing it because of that.
Yeah, I didn't get it because of that too, but just from watching it and kind of understanding it, I would say we'll give it to it for now, kind of as a placeholder. Also because the other one I would have picked, I have for best story. So,
anybody in the chat have any games that would fit in these categories? Feel free to hit up the chat and let us know. That way we can see what's up
right.
and what you guys are thinking, because that's what we're here for. It's all about the community, right? So we've got our picks, but you guys obviously will have some of yours that'll fit within these categories as well. So I mean, we pretty much agreed on best co-op, right? It Takes Two is the spot. And since Tay's not here, we'll see what he has down for a couple other ones. What did he have for? So for action adventure, and this is where we get in that situation where it's like, hey, things can fit, anything can fit in there. He had Hitman 3,
right?
Which for me, I had that as best shooter.
Yeah, that's what I had as for his best shooter. I think that'll probably get washed out by Battlefield.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, which Tay has that down.
Yeah.
So Tay's kind of cheating a little bit.
Yeah,
but
he's seeing he can see into the future.
I mean,
right?
yeah, I think we all can on that pick, but
yeah, well, and I think Battlefield could also fall in the best multiplayer game.
Yeah.
Category.
He'll probably win all kinds of awards, hopefully.
We don't have it on the list that we're going to talk about, but I think Battlefield's music is always really, really solid.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it could win best soundtrack. I think it could win best art direction. I think it could realistically win best multiplayer. It could win best shooter. I mean, or it could just completely let us down.
Yeah, there's that too.
Because I mean, we're building up that hype towards that Battlefield, but it could sweep a lot of awards, and there's some good games still on the horizon, like that we're looking at, in the future. And that kind of falls into one of the next categories, best sports game. And I say Horizon because I think Forza Horizon is going to be pretty solid when it does finally release. I think that will be the one that takes MLB The Show off of the pedestal.
Right.
I think MLB The Show is in more hands now than it's ever been. With them putting it on Game Pass. I just think that really puts that studio in a different light. Now, whether that means next year it's on Game Pass or it's not remains to be seen. Or if they go back and say, okay, well, it's going to be like they're never going to make it a PlayStation exclusive again. I don't think.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because for best sports game for me right now is MLB The Show, but I don't know that it stays there.
Yeah. Unless you think Mario Golf will take it over.
I actually think Mario Golf will be in the hunt for like family game or party game.
That's actually what I had it in, is family game.
And I think it falls pretty close in that category. I think there's it could be it could just wind up in the sports category, but I don't think it does ultimately. I think you've got FIFA, you're going to have Madden, you have MLB The Show, NHL is going to be good again this year. NHL is probably the most underrated of all the sports games. I think they put together a good product every year. EA does. If there's a college football game that gets released this year somewhere,
oh, yeah, that would take 100%.
Like,
I didn't think about that.
It doesn't have a release date yet, but if they go back and say, hey, we're going to release this like the week before Thanksgiving, or they say, you know what, we're going to release the next college football game when the college football playoff starts.
Yeah.
Like, we're ready to go. Here it is. We're going to call it, bowl championship series or whatever they decide to call it.
Yeah.
That game hands down takes it.
Yeah. Against anything else.
Yeah.
Now, we kind of went everywhere around that one, but
yeah, it just kind of bounces around because there's things that keep falling in.
It's so fluid,
Yeah.
But what did you have for best multiplayer? I have 2.
So it's hard for me. This was a really hard category for me because every game that I thought, dang, I really like this multiplayer, was released last year. I still think that Fall Guys is really, really fun.
Interesting.
I know that it just hasn't held. Like the audience hasn't really held, but I think that game still catches my attention at times. Like when I see people playing it on Twitch, I still gravitate to it.
Yeah, I haven't played that so long.
And I think it was the perfect game in the pandemic. Because it was just like a little time waster.
Right.
Lack of a better term. But I think that I really struggled with this category in general because for me it kind of bounces back and forth, and because things came out on the Switch later. So like Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville, I really like. I had it on Xbox before, and it came out on Switch in March.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really fun game. I mean, but is it the best multiplayer? Probably not, but it's really, really cool. But there's other things that fall in this category as well that kind of would be like, okay, Mario Golf could be a contender here if it plays out the right way. Or I mean, we've got Battlefield and Call of Duty that could take the cake for either one, What did you have?
I'm starting to develop a theory that Call of Duty won't make it in 2021. I find that I have a feeling they might delay it just a tad bit. Ant flying around me, needs to get out of here. But
do you think they avoid because Battlefield's launch is going to be so big that they try to avoid it, or do you think they go ahead and right at it?
They shouldn't. I think they will, but they shouldn't. I mean, I just think it's weird that it is July and we don't even have a trailer yet.
Yeah.
I mean, that is so strange. It is usually March Madness, if not earlier.
Yeah.
And I mean, we know what the name. I mean, we don't even have GameStop leaks or anything. We're nothing.
It's because everybody get fired.
I mean, sure, but like every year it happens, and part of me also thinks it's on purpose. I mean,
Well, some
The
of it, I
leaks
think they
generate
send that
more-
stuff and they're like, don't open this box until this day. And we're going to
Right.
send district managers by to see.
I feel like, and then you open the box and it's like, it says please tweet on this date.
Yeah.
And because like, those usually pick up a lot of traffic. But my best multiplayer game right now I have is Chivalry 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I just feel like, I haven't played it. I've watched it a bunch, and everybody raves about it.
Yeah.
And it is a super fun game. I have the first one, loved it. Second one I'll pick up eventually, but and then the game right behind it, I don't know if you've played it. It's free. It's called Knockout City.
That was another one that I contemplated.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
It's a dodgeball game. I mean, what could you not love about that?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely catches my attention, and I've had people recommend it to me and say, "Hey, you should play this." And I may have installed it on PC already, but there was an issue. So, for those of you that are PC gamers, and you've probably experienced this and figured it out much faster than I did, if you had Origin on your system, they have another EA hardware or another EA software that's now part of the EA realm of things, and they don't like each other. So like if you have Origin open and you try to play something else with EA desktop, like because there's two different things, they just don't like each other. So EA desktop will tell you close Origin before you try to open this. So yeah, it's, I mean, definitely an interesting like issue that I had, but yeah, that kept me from playing it the first time that I wanted to play it, because I was just like, yeah, I don't have patience for this tonight, so forget it. Because I didn't realize it was just as simple as, hey, close it and then reboot and then make sure that Origin isn't open when you try to start it again. I was just like, yeah, I'm not messing with this.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of people seem to love it. But there's going to be so many multiplayers where it's at, right? Like I think now we're going to see that. And that's part of, like, did you see the Assassin's Creed announcement today?
I did not.
They basically said that they're going to move Assassin's Creed to a games as a service.
Interesting.
Which is
I'll be curious
Assassin's
how
Creed,
they pull that off. But
Assassin's Creed Infinity to offer live online game service. So Assassin's Creed Valhalla, while it came out last year, would fall in a number of categories for me as one of the best games that I've played recently. So like to see this like games as a service thing kind of throws me for a loop. Hold on, I can't even pull up the. Hey, there he is, Tay.
What up? Hey, welcome, my friends. Welcome.
Yeah, welcome. You're like, welcome into my house. We've been talking about you while you're not here, so we're gonna stop where we're at, and we got to know, Mark. What do we got to know? What do we got to know?
show us the computer.
Hey,
Yep.
it's actually being shipped right now. I did order it.
Oh,
Hey, hold on.
very nice. I believe it. I'll buy it.
I know
I'll buy in.
it's actually being shipped right now. It took me like 3 hours to make a decision on the one that I actually wanted. So yeah,
Give us the details. What'd you get?
I went through the what's that? Power by iPower.
I buy power.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? For it to be my first computer, I didn't want to go over the top with the computer. So I was like, let me start with something simple, and then I could build up from there.
Interesting. I would have done the opposite. I'd have been like, first computer, give me everything.
He would be like, give me more,
Give me.
Yeah.
No, but I actually did order it. I cried when I hit enter.
Just be glad you didn't pull a Mark and sleep outside of a micro center. You say it's worth it, but like, dude, there's nothing I don't miss. That's one thing I don't miss about working retail. Like, I don't miss the midnight launch and like the early morning releases when people are like sleeping outside and crap.
We're not even gonna get on retail, Lord Jesus.
No, I know.
It's been one of those days.
I know. I shouldn't have said the R word. Yeah, it's a bad word. Like, but we're kind of bouncing back and forth on our game of the year stuff. So we already hit action adventure, and then we added best RPG because we didn't have that one and realized we probably should.
Yeah.
And then best co-op we've already hit. We're on best online multiplayer. And we kind of bounced around some ideas. So Mark said that Knockout City, that dodgeball game, is really, really good.
Well, that was the runner-up.
And
best multiplayer was Chivalry 2.
Yeah, Chivalry 2 was the one that he had. That's like a hack and slash.
Medieval style.
Medieval, yeah. So what did you have, Tay? What was your...
Yeah, I was like, these guys didn't look at my list.
We did. No, we did. We were digging. We went down. We also think you're cheating.
How am I cheating?
Because you put games that aren't even out yet.
So but I was looking at the previews.
Game of the year so far.
well, my game of the year so far. My game of the year so far, and I would have to say 2K.
What?
I'm gonna tell you why.
I'm not even surprised he said that.
I'm not surprised he said it either, but I need an explanation.
I'm gonna say this because I'm a Madden person, so I've really been getting into 2K, and the 2K community, the storyline, and the actual gameplay. It's like every update, it gets better and better and better.
But 2K came out September 4th of 2020.
Okay, but it's still in the running for Game of the Year. It's 2K21.
I mean,
I can't put in 22.
I don't even know. I don't even know if it works like that. But
it doesn't.
Are you sure?
Yeah, absolutely, it doesn't.
Oh, y'all just want to hate on my game.
No, I know it does not.
I'm on your side. As soon as you said it's Madden or it's 2K21, I was like, damn, he has a point. I was like, he might be right. I don't know.
It doesn't follow. So it's based on actual release date. So technically, he would have to go with 2K22 because of where the release date will fall, which he'll probably say that at the end of the year anyway.
No. Hold on. So if we gotta go with actual release date on the day that it falls, I'm gonna have to go with Madden 22. And I've been watching the new videos on the updates and how now the crowd noise is a part of the game factor. Player morale is part of the game factor. When you can play the franchise mode and you don't have to just be the quarterback and a running back. You can be a wide receiver, a linebacker. It's like they took the story mode and put it on steroids. It's crazy. Yeah. So I would have to say Madden there. Since we're going with release dates.
That is the anticipated release date of Madden, ladies and gentlemen. Right there on the screen for you.
Yes.
So if you're going to be playing Madden on August 20th on the PlayStation, hit up DJ Tay Boogie because somebody needs to beat him and knock him down a peg.
No. No one has beat me yet.
Bro.
I've still been on the road.
Nobody.
I'm just gonna secretly practice off stream.
Dude, I thought about getting it on PlayStation this year just so I can show Tay how it's done.
Well, you could. Hey, I could always bring it over.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I'm just gonna every morning. I'm just gonna start tweeting Chad Johnson. I'm gonna be like, yeah, this guy says he's gonna beat us.
Yeah, Andy says he could beat you with one hand tied behind his back.
Who Chad?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Hold on. Chad. Well, let's go back. I'm pretty sure he's gonna remember this. We were doing a Madden tournament at Jillian's, and Chad was one of the hosts, and he had his brother with him. His brother took an L, and Chad didn't want no smoke. So yeah, tell Chad to come on, baby. I've been trying to get Chad.
All right, here we go.
Yes,
this is your chance right here.
Hold on, Ocho Cinco, aka Pepe, aka Ocho vs Science. If you want that smoke, come holler at me on Madden. I'm just saying. Snoop Dogg could get it. T-Pain can get it.
I love the opportunities to just go full screen with Tay and be able to clip that later.
I'm just saying. And tag them, please. Tag them.
Oh, dude, you're always good for the clip.
hey, tag them, please. Tell Ocho to come on. And then he tried to pull like he never met me. I have about like 40 pictures with Ocho throughout the years. So
yeah, you're like, I don't know this guy. You'd be like, you really? Boop, boop.
boop, boop, boop. At the Madden tournament. Yeah, we got a picture together at the Madden tournament. So he
that's funny.
He could try to pull it out.
Yeah. All right. What else you want to? What other categories, Mark? Where are we at? We've been bouncing all over the place. Where'd he go?
Well, I know.
Where'd he go?
I know. Like for best shooter, I had Battlefield. So
yeah, you're playing games that haven't come out yet. Oh, best single player game. There we go. We haven't talked about that yet.
Best single player.
Single player.
I
have Far Cry.
Well, I mean, it might be.
One?
What like 6?
Yeah, the 6.
Well, what's the best one you've played so far?
Don't
you dare say 2K.
well, yeah, you could consider that a single player.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, here we go.
No. Hold on. I'm gonna pull it out. I'm pulling out my archive. This is the best single player. Ghost. Yes.
Came out last year.
Hey, but still,
that is a good game. I recommended that too.
It was a really good game. Although I believe it's coming out on PS5, right? They're doing a director's cut.
Yep. So technically, it's still being running.
You know what day the director's cut comes out, Tay?
I can look that up.
I already know.
I'll see. Look, show off.
Guess what day do you think it is? The same day as Madden.
That's hilarious. Jay's gonna have a busy day. He's sick.
I was like, "Oh, this is great!" I literally just put this up on the screen, and it comes out this.
Hey, so that means I'm about to spend like $200 at GameStop that day because I'm getting the collector's edition in Madden.
Well, my best single player game was I kind of cheated, but the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. We all know it's good.
Yeah.
But
we talked about this before you got here, Tay.
Yep.
Director's cuts and legendary editions are going to fall into this category, and we're just going to roll with it because Mass Effect is by far my favorite single player game. Like,
and what was the release date on that? Since we test the release dates.
Oh, it was just recent. So
okay,
it was like 2 weeks ago.
Okay,
yeah. So legendary edition of Mass Effect. The release date was May 14th.
Okay, you can skate with that one.
Yeah, so it's been longer than I thought, but yeah, the original one was November 16th of 2007 for the original Mass Effect, and then 3 was in 2012, and I cannot remember where 2 fell in the original release. I can't believe I remember the original release of the first game. But I worked that release and it was miserable. And then 3 I remember because somebody ruined the story for me and spoiled it. And I was so mad. Yeah.
Hold on, while you were at work, they just ran the whole storyline down.
Well, it was a big, like, the third one, and I don't want to spoil it for anybody who's playing the Legendary Edition, but the third one has a big, like, moment. And somebody literally came in like 3 days after release and told me what happened. And I had worked every day from the release to that point. And my next 2 days off were the next 2 days. So I was planning on playing it.
So you didn't kick him out the store?
I did.
Right? They just get out, dude. You have no idea what you just did.
Oh, like he knew I was hot, like pretty quick. He was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, bro. I didn't think about it." And I'm like, obviously you didn't think you can get out. Like, yeah, I was pretty upset.
Not think about that.
Yeah, well, and it's like he literally made a comment like, "What, have you been working every day since the release?" Because he picked it up at the release, and I was like, "Yeah, man." And he's like, "Can you believe they?" And he told me, and I was like, what? No.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, he better be like just messing with me. And then like I looked it up and he literally spoiled it.
So after he told you, you went and looked it up instead of just playing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, I was like,
In
is this
disbelief.
what happened? Yeah, like, and I was like, yep, there it is.
I wouldn't look it up personally.
Yeah,
but,
I just would. I would have been even more mad though had I spent 20 hours or whatever playing it and then like found out that he did ruin it already for me. Like I'd have been pretty mad.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to think. I think I accidentally spoiled a game by myself just by being on the internet kind of thing, and I don't remember what game it was, but I know what you're talking about. I played the whole thing. I was like, well, yep, I knew that was gonna happen this whole time. Like you just see things lining up in the way that like they said it was gonna happen.
yeah.
Don't
When
spoil games, folks.
no, not cool at all. When it comes down to single player games though, like for this year, and this one's not out yet, but I have a feeling that if it releases in 2021, if we get a 2021 release date, this knocks a lot of them out of the park. Is her Horizon Forbidden West
Yeah.
on PlayStation. I think
I didn't like the first one. I need to give it a second try. I think I've probably done it on here before.
Yeah, I really like the first one. Enough that I bought all the pop figures that go along with that game, and I'm very picky about which pops I buy because otherwise I would have thousands of them.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Speaking of pops, I just ordered 2 more.
Which one'd you get?
I went and got the LeBron because he changed his jersey number. So I got the one with
oversized one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got that one. I got Jam Master Jay from Run DMC.
Mm-hmm.
And then I looked up and found, remember when 2K19 came out with LeBron on the cover, they have the actual one with the hardwood court and the stand on it.
Oh,
It's like a limited edition. So, yeah.
Where'd you find that at? Just like a random like store?
Nah, I was actually going through my phone through like random shopping apps. And I was like, let me look at accessories and collectibles. And one on there, it was in there. Hey, guess what?
So you overpaid is what I'm hearing.
No. This is the crazy thing. I looked up online and it was like $90-something. I got it for $17.
Dang.
Okay, so you didn't overpay, but you could have.
I could have.
Could have if you wanted to.
So on the shooter front and single player front, Halo is not going to release this year, correct?
Is that not releasing?
I'm so confused as to when its actual like release date is going to be.
I thought it was holiday of this year, but
that's what I thought too. But they just said that they're going to beta test the multiplayer relatively soon. So it's like, all right, where are we at there? Because John Janicek said on Twitter from 343, like the beta tests will be released ahead of time. Like they'll let everybody know in advance. It says PSA Halo Infinite multiplayer technical preview details will be made known ahead of time. It will not be a surprise. You will need to be registered as a Halo Insider.
Wow. So how do you register as a Halo Insider?
Cool that you asked that question, Tay. Actually,
are you a Halo Insider?
I am a Halo Insider.
Oh man, big dog in the house.
I am a Halo Insider.
Whoop, whoop.
That just proves that I'm a loser. It's cool. Here, we'll run the link across the bottom of the screen for everybody to sign up to be a Halo Insider as well.
I'm assuming you sent name and an email.
You just have to log in with your Xbox Live account, I believe, in order to sign up. But that's the link right there. It'll take you to halowaypoint.com, and then there's Halo Insider, and there's a link right there that says sign up. Real easy actually to do that. So anybody that wants to sign up for that can do that pretty easily. So if you just go to the Halo Insider site, you can see right here where it says to sign up.
Why they can't have cool things like that for PlayStation?
I have friends that work for Sony, so I'm just going to say no comment.
Sony's not cool.
I think
it's okay. You can say it. Just whisper.
Okay. Here's what I'll say. Sony did so well with PS4 that I think they took for granted their fan base going into the PS5.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah,
I think they literally looked at those of us that loved PS4 and said, "Hey, we know you're going to want a PS5. We know you're going to do your best to get a PS5. So what we have available is what we have available, and when you can get it is when you can get it. And we're going to release games on both consoles for those of you that can't get the PS5."
Right.
And for those of us that have PS5s, now we're like, oh, great. Well, this game was supposed to be mastered, like specifically geared towards the PS5. Am I getting a lesser product now because they're putting it on both?
Okay, hold on. I'm going to mute my mic real quick because I have to censor myself. Okay, I'm back.
I mean, you're welcome. You're welcome to come over and play it. I mean, it's fun. It's really nice. I enjoy it. I am only playing exclusives on it at this point. There's very few games that looking down the pike that I'm like, I could get that on PlayStation or Xbox or PC, and I'm buying it on PlayStation.
So
I'm just not.
Can I buy Madden for a PS5 and just come play at your house?
Well, I would love to say yes, but I bought the digital PlayStation. Because it was, well, one, I don't buy physical media at all anymore.
Right.
And I know that some people will throw me under the bus for being that guy, but I'm out of space. As big as the game room is, and as much as we have in it, like there's no more room for me to buy any more discs and stash them anywhere.
Well, there's no point anymore. There's like nothing on the disc. It's
the only reason that I would say the point to buy it is if it actually has something on the disc, and a lot of times it doesn't. It just gives you a license. Like it spins the disc and then it downloads everything, and you're like, okay.
Right.
But yeah, I got the digital PS5. And honestly, I haven't missed having the disc drive other than when, like, let's say, GameStop or Target runs like a buy two, get one.
Right.
And there's something I want to play, but usually when they're running a buy two, get one, the PlayStation Store's got a sale that puts it about that price anyway.
Well, I would say the only reason I still buy this is the simple fact this is going into the store for the experience.
Right.
That's really one of the only reasons. Because I done downloaded a couple of games like straight to the hard drive. But it's like certain games, like, of course, man, every year I have to go to the store and get the disc. It's like,
well, back in the day, those releases used to be a big deal, right?
Yeah,
like,
yes.
But
yes.
like we used to grill out and have a tailgate party and stuff in the parking lot and do all that stuff. That experience was cool, but that stuff's all kind of gone by the wayside, man. Like, I mean, that used to be cool. It used to be fun. Like, I'd have Bengals players in my store buying the game on release and, you know, being cool and hanging out with fans and saying hi. Right. And it was a big deal. But now it just doesn't happen anymore. Like, the players aren't there to pick it up. Like, you know.
And now you have Zoom parties.
Yeah, right.
Digital Zoom parties.
Oh, we're just going to do this on Zoom.
It was crazy. We were just talking about this. A lady came into the store. And she was like, small things like that the world needs right now just to rebuild the morale.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
And that's like, it really does make sense because, like, one of our stores, they did a barbecue for the customer appreciation. Had live music, you know, snacks and everything. Just to, hey, we know everybody's having a hard time. We're still here to come out and have a little bit of fun.
And why didn't you invite us?
It wasn't my store.
Oh. Well, we could.
But hold on.
He just didn't want to hang out with us.
But when we do have ours, I will have you guys come in.
Yeah, I mean, that would be cool. We could do a live remote.
Yeah, we can broadcast live. And we can hook up the TV. You know, we got the sound system. You know. whoever want to take a loss first, just pick up the sticks.
Oh, bro.
Man, dude.
Challenge accepted.
So,
Dude, he is ready to go, man.
man, I'm ready to get back outside, man. You know, some people have been in the house well over a year. It's time to rebuild the morale and social interactions.
So while we're talking about getting together and doing some stuff, I wanted to share a video with you guys. I'm trying to figure out what the best way to do it's going to be. So there's a Kickstarter project that started. It's called the X Screen. And this will be interesting for anybody who has an Xbox Series S. So not the X, not the one that looks like a refrigerator, but the S.
I think I know what this is.
Dude, this thing slaps. Like straight
is this
up.
a real thing?
Yes.
Okay.
So I said the same thing. I was like, is this legit? Like, how is this really going to happen? And
I don't know
like,
about the battery life. That's the one thing I was skeptical about as well.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know, but I think it's worth the look. Like, so if you haven't seen a Series S,
do you have one?
Come on, Ted. This is it. Like next to my head, y'all know how big my head is. So it's not that big, right?
Right.
Like, the system itself is fairly small. Like, while I do have a big bald head, this is a small console. I have small hands.
He does not have small hands.
I do have small hands. I have very small hands. Like, I struggle to play guitar because I have small hands. But so this actual screen fits on top of this console. So in all seriousness, like there's not many things out there that you could do this with. This is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Now there are other options out there on the market, right? Like you could buy a portable screen from like Micro Center or whatever.
There's one company called like Games. It's like GAEMS. They've been doing portable stuff since like the 360.
I have one of those too.
Oh, okay.
See, he got everything over there.
I'm trying to figure out where that's at. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. You boys talk amongst yourselves. I'll be.
Hey, we're just gonna talk about his game room over there. Did he even have?
He's flexing, bro. He's flexing on us.
Right? Did he even have the Xbox plugged up? Was he?
I don't think so. I think he had it as like a footrest down below him. He's just picking him up.
Yeah, we talking about you, buddy. Yeah, we're talking about you.
I don't know if you can't hear us. Now he can hear us.
Hey, did you have the Xbox plugged up?
Yeah.
It was. Also, you unplugged it. We thought you had it as a paperweight.
No, I unplugged it. It's plugged in. So if you look, how can I do this without screwing?
No. You just need to stop capping. Okay, we understand. Our game rules are not up to par.
No, it's okay. Like honestly, so if you look, this is my second screen for my PC is right here. Right, you can see this here. This is where the Xbox.
He don't kick himself out.
I did kick myself out.
All right,
this screen here is where the Xbox plays when I'm streaming.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it's right there. But yeah, so the game's mobile gaming units, they have the M155, which is this pretty little thing.
That's nice.
So this fits pretty well if you're traveling. And then I'm going to play this video for you guys. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to go get my other one so you can see that one too.
Drum roll. So, like, are they only built for the Xbox?
Currently, I believe so. Yeah.
Man, what's up? Do people not like PlayStation? Are those things only built for Xbox?
Okay, yeah, they are, and then this one is too. So this actually, your Xbox fits inside this unit here. So it slides in here, and it basically locks into place. So there's a release. You put your Xbox down here, and then slide it in. It clicks into place. And then all the cords and everything go through the back.
All right, so can we have a meeting with Sony because they needed to do something for our PlayStation heads over here.
Yeah. So this is a Buddha Tech Rover 1. So if you go out online and look at the price on that, I can promise you I didn't pay that. Because if I did, my wife would kill me. But I got it on Amazon on Prime Day last year, and it was like a deal because it was open because the box was damaged in shipment.
Right.
Sweet.
So I was like,
so you got to
take my chance. Like, let's see what happens.
You got the fell off the truck price.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right. Like the meat in the back of the car price.
Right.
Like, did you just buy steaks out of somebody's trunk? Yes, I did.
Yes, I did.
But
Yes, I did.
It also came with this pretty little bag.
That's fly.
Nice.
So
Nice.
it just fits. It fits in there. And then the Mobile S1 did too. The games unit. The games unit comes with a bag as well.
Now, question.
Yeah.
While we're speaking on mobile units, have y'all been seeing the videos? Or I guess it's like the handheld Xbox portable and the PlayStation portable, where it has the big screen.
Is it one that looks kind of like a laptop? Like a guy basically gutted a PlayStation and put it inside a laptop?
That one, and then it's another one where he has to it looks like a PSP, but it's all screen, and it kind of looks like your phone on the backbone, but it looks like touch screen. I was like, man, are they really coming out with these, or are these just concepts?
Yeah. So there was I sent somebody a picture the other day. Somebody created a fan thing that was like, this is what the new Switch is going to look like. And it basically had the whole screen was part of your hand, like in your hands, and everything you touched was part of the screen.
I wish they would. I will be in GameStop or whatever store I need to go to and go broke that day.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think there's a huge handheld market. Have you guys tried any of the stuff like on phone, like to play mobile yet? Like,
no, I only play really like Clash of Clans. If I play anything
on mobile.
Aha! I ordered the backbone and it has the Xbox Pass for free.
Okay.
If you order that.
So you're gonna have to do a video of that so we can put it out there for people, because I've been contemplating it, and I have Game Pass, so I've been going back and forth, but I can't seem to be connected well enough to play.
Well,
and I don't know if it's just my phone isn't staying. I know at my office, I know at work, when I'm on my break or whatever, I'm not getting a good enough connection in the building. I just know that's a fact. But I can't seem to get a good enough connection anywhere to play on the 5G.
Well, for what I was looking at before I ordered the backbone, some of the games you can actually play offline. It's like on a cloud, so it really doesn't take up space on your phone. Because that was my biggest issue.
Right, but it has to stream from the cloud to your phone.
True.
And that was the connection. My connection issue was it just wasn't staying connected enough.
Gotcha.
It was giving me some headache there. So I was just curious if that was a. Let me know how it works. So we'll do a video. Actually, we'll have you break it down and kind of do a quick little video for a segment on the show once you get yours. Because I think that, and Scoot said this when he was here talking about Team Frisch, that he felt like mobile gaming was where it's at. We're really moving in that direction. I think there's some interesting opportunities there for mobile gaming. I think, and we talked a little bit about this before you got here, Tay, about the new Switch that they announced just not having enough power to do anything special. But I think that it could be cool. Like, I think if you do it right, there's also a handheld gaming PC that was announced at. It's an Alienware, actually.
I figured it'd be from them.
Yeah, it's
Seems
called
right up their alley.
it's called the UFO.
Nice.
And it kind of looks like a Switch, but it legit goes. And I've had my eye on this for a while because I just can't get the idea of being able to play any of my games that are in my Steam library like on the go without having a full laptop with me kind of blows my mind. And that's one that I want to see like what they do with it. This is the screen here.
Whoa. It looks like a Switch, yeah.
Yeah. So it actually does the side panels do come off as well and kind of look like that.
Wow. And when is this supposed to come out?
I don't know for sure. It's been
seems
bounced
like it's
around.
a concept.
Yeah,
right
it was a
now.
concept. And I can't remember what it was at an actual con. This was before like cons went away, right? So this was
Right.
it was released in January 7th of 2020 is when this article was placed. And this again is Men's XP tech editor Ashke Bala is who put that article out there if you're interested in checking that out. But there's a number of pictures of that unit. Alienware is always stupid, like as far as advancements, right? Like they're always trying to push the envelope. So I mean that thing's probably going to cost a fortune. Like,
But
Yeah, it depends. I don't know. I mean, the way where technology's hitting, it could be, I'm sure it'll be affordable, but I'm sure it will be a little outrageous.
but like the Alienware laptops are like range like around $3,000.
Yeah.
yes,
Well,
and the cheapest refurbished one was almost $2,000.
As Tay knows, because he was just taking a peek
Right.
for him, right?
right.
But yeah, like you can't even. It was CES 2020 was where they had it available for people to look at. So yeah, January. And there's some videos out there on YouTube as well if you're interested in that concept of people actually playing it and previewing it at CES. So
Hey, but you know what's about to kill the market, and as much as I love Sony, Apple Arcade on the
on the iPhone,
on the iPad Air, it is so
Okay.
dope, and a lot of people are getting the Apple Arcade and the iPad Air, but I'm thinking Apple's going to come out with a handheld pretty soon.
well, I
I
mean,
don't know.
do they need to? Like
It'll
I'm
be
playing,
dope.
I'm playing devil's advocate at this point. Do they need to when I've got an iPhone that can run just about any game?
True, but the screen, that screen on the iPhone, unless you get the Max, yeah. Unless you get the Max, the screen, yeah, stench.
The Max. Get the Max. Did you get the Max? Yeah, I got the Max. Yeah, like when it comes to tech, like that's my stuff, right? Like that's my vice. If I'm gonna get a new phone, I'm gonna get the one that has the bigger screen or has the faster processor or whatever. Like I don't go to I'm not going to the Apple store. I'm not hitting up Verizon and be like, hey, can you give me the one step below the nicest one? Like I'm going all in if I'm going all in. It's kind of like Mark when he
Right.
was going to buy a PC.
Yeah.
Like
So
I'm that way
what
with the
phone do you have
phone.
now?
The
Don't
Max XS Max, I think, or X Max. It's big.
Gotcha.
It's like
You talk
it's a
about
couple.
I'm
It's a
still on the
couple years
X-Max.
old. Yeah, it's a couple years old, but it's like the X Max.
yeah, that thing is
Um,
big.
Yeah, and I'm due like where you can get your new phone every 2 years or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, I'm there now. The XS Max is what I've got. I've had it for 2 years and it still runs great. The camera, actually, y'all are watching right now. That's my phone. That is my webcam right now. I decided to test that out and
Oh,
see.
somebody's
well.
nosy. Hey, he's just stunting today. We're just gonna call him stunaholic for today. He's just
It's just-
stunting.
No, I just wanted to try something different. and I even went back to the old mic. Like I've been bouncing around to some different things, and yeah, like there's a lot of different things that I'd like to kind of mess with and see, and this was one of those. I was like, hey, let's see. It obviously is better the more light that I have, so
right. Yeah, but we can see your camera's not refocusing. Like,
right,
move.
Right, because I was being annoyed by that quite a bit. And I can probably turn the light on the other camera. Maybe it might. No, it's not even going to function. But yeah, that gets annoying when like if you barely move and all of a sudden it's like
getting blurry on you.
Yeah, and that was happening a lot during the show. So I was like, let me see if I can eliminate that. And I have another webcam that I could have used, but I've had the software on the phone to do it for a long time, so I figured I'd give it a shot.
So ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching right now, take all the notes from Ryan. Yeah, because he's going in. He's Mr. Stunaholic today.
No, it's just like, well,
no, we joking, man.
No, I know. It's just one of those things where it's like I want to make sure, like, and we've talked about this off the air. Like, I want to put the best possible show together that we can, right? Like each time we do a show, I want it to be the best possible show we can,
right?
And that includes the video that people are watching while we're alive, or what we put out after for people to watch, and it includes the audio that goes up like tomorrow.
Yep.
We want you guys to be part of the show too. Like we want comments in the chat, and we want all those things. So showing the different things and just the little nerdy tech things and like what we're doing and what different devices. Like I got my Vita right here because Tay thinks I just hate on PlayStation. Like I got my Vita, like
no, I'm not saying that. No, PlayStation hates on themselves. Like
right now, I think you're right. I think it's just it's the same thing that Xbox did between 360 and Xbox One. They had the market. They were like, all right, y'all like our stuff. We're just going to put out what we're going to put out, and you guys are going to buy it. And everybody was like, no.
Right.
I love my PS5. I just don't think that they've done everything they can. And part of it's probably pandemic related. I'm sure some of it is. Like, I'm not going to, as much as I'm tired of hearing COVID, some of it is a COVID issue.
I would say about 15% of that's a COVID issue. Because they were how long were they in production of making the PS5 before COVID hit?
I don't know. Like, I mean, I don't know what it was like in Japan, right? Like, I saw videos and stuff of how stuff shut down there, but my guess is that like everything just stopped straight up. Like as soon as it became a really big thing, like, and they're like, hey, China is like our neighbor. Like we want to make sure we're taking this seriously. I would bet you everything in Japan just completely shut down, dude.
Right. Everything's.
I get that on the tech side, but on the flip side, on the other side of retail, man, they did not slow shoes down not one bit until.
Well, that was.
I would say the last 3 months.
Yeah, I mean, but how many of them were already sitting in a port in San Francisco?
That's what they. No diss to Nike. I think it was the ports, but a lot of the orders were supposed to get like 4 rounds on. Nah, it's like, shipment's messed up. You can get this 2 boxes and be happy.
Well, yeah, and I think that ultimately we're gonna get to the point like within the next. Let's say this holiday season, I think we start to see things kind of get back to somewhat of a norm, like, and you start seeing more of the consoles showing up. I'll be interested to see Nintendo on the new console that they're releasing, like October 8th, right? Is the release day for the OLED Switch?
Yeah.
Like, how's that production going to be? Am I going to have to pre-order it to get one? Probably yes. But like, what's the release window going to look like for that?
Right.
Where, what games are coming out that are going to hit on that system that aren't going to be on everything else that's going to make people want that one. And that's the thing with Sony right now. Like, God of War's 2022, right?
Yeah, I've seen that.
So
and Grand Theft Autos is 2025.
if you're lucky.
Yeah.
It's getting delayed. It's getting delayed.
Hey, I'm gonna do a time thing. I'll just record myself all the way up until the release of Grand Theft Auto.
You need to take a picture of yourself in the same position every morning from now until when GTA 6 releases, and then we'll do one of those time lapse things where like we show what you look like every day
from now
until the release.
Here's now. It's like sad 2023. Oh, they start to like leak stuff. Oh, getting happy.
Yeah, and then they announce the first like delay.
Yeah, and then
man. Yeah,
I just throw my whole life away.
Yeah, no, and I understand that's your game you're super hyped for. I get it, but every time I see any more news about it, I'm always like, all right, well, send this to Tay. Let's see what he says about this one. Like,
hey, I just put my head down when you put that link up. I was, what?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there, like in the games industry. Like those of you that are watching us, you obviously have an interest in what's going on in the industry. We follow. Between the three of us, we follow so many different people. And there's a few that we follow that are the same, I'm sure. But the majority of it, like the majority of the things that I throw out there, like Tay hasn't seen or Mark hasn't seen, and Mark will throw something out in the chat and like I've never seen before from somebody that I don't follow,
right.
and like, but I think in general, Jason Schreier, who works for Bloomberg, he's a reporter for Bloomberg, and he's had other positions elsewhere previously. I think all of us probably follow him, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like if you want to talk about somebody who's pretty close to the industry standard on who you should be reading and following and subscribing to, the Bloomberg does a great job, and Jason does a great job, and he put something out this past week. In regards to, it was actually yesterday when I sent it to Tay, but in regards to GTA 6's release date, and there's a YouTube video that was like tweeted with it.
Right. What is Rockstar doing that's stopping them from? What are you guys doing? Rockstar, if you're watching this, what are you doing?
I mean,
soaking in that cash. That shark card money.
That shark card money that you keep spending.
No. Hey, return to sender. They can keep all that. Just give me something new. Like,
well, I mean,
even Red Dead Redemption. I was like, can we get an add-on to that? Something like, give me something.
I just download that from my PC. I'm gonna replay the story and try to. I'm thinking about grinding the multiplayer just till hit a level 100, just because.
I mean, that game's fun, but I can only ride on the horse so long.
It does give it kind of
before I'm like, all right, cool. What are we doing? Like,
how many trains and wagons can I rob? Okay,
yeah. I mean, that's no joke. Like, I do really enjoy that game, but I think that there's going to be a fine line for me. Like, eventually, I'll be like, okay, I'm done with Red Dead. Like, and I couldn't play it. I couldn't play it on console very long, because I just catch myself, and I used to do this, and we've talked about this before. Any open world game and I are never going to get along because it's too much. Like, I get overwhelmed by all the randomness that's going on, and I play, like, I get all caught up in what all's out there, and I really would love to get to see the entirety of a game, and I'll never do it. Like, it took me, I actually went back and looked. It took me 4 years to beat Batman Arkham Asylum.
I still haven't beat that.
I went back and looked because I was like, I knew I had posted on Facebook, like, hey, I finally did it. I rolled credits. Like, and then I looked at that date, and then I looked at the release date of the game, and it was a 4-year difference.
Wow.
And I love those games, like, straight up love the Batman games. But I would get so wrapped up in, like, trying to find all the Riddler trophies and all that kind of stuff in the Batman games that I get like lost in the weeds, so to speak. And that's kind of my concern. So like when I get wrapped up in a story of a game, like when we talk about best story in a game, as we get back to our categories, like what game's story has just sucked you into the point where you're like, yeah, that's it. I gotta play that. Like within the last year.
Sekiro Shadows Die Twice.
What's up? All right. For me, last year, probably It Takes Two, just because it was just such a cute little game. That's just like it had a really good heartwarming story.
Yeah. Yeah. I struggle to say that I've played anything that's had a great story this year.
Yeah.
I kept looking at the list and going back and forth and trying to figure out like what could possibly be on my list, and I couldn't come up with anything that just caught me. And I haven't played this, but I've watched people playing it, and Returnal really has me interested. And hats off to Sony because it's an exclusive.
Yeah.
But that game, I think I could get into it.
I would love to play it, but
yeah, I'm not sure they would keep me interested long enough, but I want to kind of give it a shot. I'm kind of there. But that's just another one of those topics, like one of those awards that if they go best story or best, something like that, I think that's going to be a hard one. Mark, what about best games as a service game, like for you?
I think I had down Valorant. Like, is that what you mean by service game?
Yeah, so like a game that like has a battle pass or has like a ton of like. So like for me, it's Fortnite. Like I think they're constantly doing cool stuff, like putting Thanos in there. The Loki thing is part of the pass. This time is really cool. But just games as a service in general, just something that continually, like Warzone or something that they continue to make adjustments and do it.
Right.
Well,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I had Rocket League and then Valorant.
Okay.
I think my answer was all wrong because I was like, Of course, I put Madden.
What did you have? Oh, you put Madden?
Yeah.
Well, there's some Madden content though, because Ultimate Team.
Yeah, Ultimate Team. Yeah. So
you play a lot of Ultimate Team, so that would fit with what kind of there in that regard.
That and GTA Online.
Oh yeah, for sure. I was like, he's got to get GTA in here somewhere. This is one.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a category that can come from any year because it's obviously just their continuation. But I think that's a good GTA Online is a given. Like they keep putting so much content out there. Dude, I used to have people that came in every 2 weeks when they get paid and buy shark cards. Like clockwork. I like every Friday I would see the same.
They're like addicts. No,
it was straight up. It was the same people every Friday. I'd be like, "What's up, dog? How much are we getting today? Like, what's the damage? Like, you tell me how much I'm giving you in PlayStation Cash or, Xbox Live currency because I knew what they were here for. Like, it was given. Like, I'd see them at the GTA release and then every other Friday once the online came out.
But that's crazy. It's like I've never got caught up in that and like buying V-Bucks and all the different stuff like that. It's like, man, just play the game. Eventually, you're gonna get the money, but people want to do it faster and buy different stuff. Like I can't do that. And if y'all see me doing that, if you ever see me out and
take you out back, right?
Yeah, just take me out back. Just take me out back, please. I can't.
Well, I've bought some V-Bucks over the course of time, but you can't unlock enough. They kind of sucker you in. Like in the battle pass, you can unlock like 100 here, 100 there, right? With the way it's set up now. But then to get one of the costumes currently, it's like 1,500 V-Bucks.
Right.
So like I'm sitting at like 900.
They give you enough to get the battle pass next season. Is how it works.
Yeah.
So how much? So 1,500 V-Bucks. How much is that in US dollars?
$15.
$15.
Are you serious?
Mhm.
$15 for an outfit.
Yeah. Yeah. And but they release multiple Batmans. You know,
Right.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's kind of a struggle because you gotta decide like, well, what do you want to do? How you want to do this? And sometimes they put them on sale, but it's very rare.
Yeah, like I almost got caught off buying Madden cards for the Ultimate Team.
Yeah, dude, that people spend lots of money on FIFA on those Ultimate Team
I
cards.
don't want
Like,
to know how much people are paying for that.
yeah, I mean, let's see. I know I saw it somewhere. The income 1.5 or 1.15 billion with a B.
Spent?
Yeah. Per this document, here we go. This is from
That's just disgusting.
NME.com. That's not even dollars, bro. That's euros. So
Oh, hold on. So what's 1.5?
1.15 billion euros is $1.62 billion.
Wow.
Oh, that is so much money. Somebody is Scrooge McDuck in that money at EA. You know it.
Yeah.
Like they're diving in the pennies from a diving board.
At that point, man, it's just numbers in, numbers out.
That's FIFA, Madden, and NHL. All the Ultimate Teams combined.
Billion.
Billion. Yeah, straight up billion. Like
Can
with
I
a
get a for that?
B.
Can I
I'm retweeting it right now from the Connection Interruption socials with a B. Like straight up billion. So if you're not following us on Twitter, be sure to do that at CONINT pod
I'm
as
retweeting.
well.
I'm retweeting right now.
But yeah, it's like my mind is blown. Like I just like that number can't be right. And that tweet, like while that tweet doesn't show the actual like document and doesn't have the article linked to it, I'm going to go to our account and link that article below so you guys can see that as well.
And they said the majority is from FIFA Ultimate Team.
Oh yeah, FIFA for sure.
Yeah, because that's an international. That's an international thing with.
So I retweeted it, but quote tweeted it this time with the link from the article on top, so you can see it with the article, so you can read along that if you want or you're interested in that. It's a big chunk of change, folks. Like that's some serious money. And Tay says, nah, fam. No, I agree with you. I haven't put any extra money into it, but you did say you're going to buy the collector's edition of Madden, right?
Yes.
Which means you are putting into that.
By default, yes.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
I mean, let's just say because the collector's edition of Madden, if we're being 100% honest here, it includes extra money for the V-Bucks or the packs. Where'd Mark go? Mark, you just disappeared again.
Uh-oh. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. We can hear you. But your video, no, you've got the cam air that you had earlier before the show started. We got that again.
I think I need to crash. I thought I fixed this earlier today, but apparently not.
Yeah.
My Windows is ruined.
No.
So, yeah. But I will be here in audio until this thing decides to turn out.
Oh man.
Minor interruption.
Right. Mark has a connection interruption of his camera. This is not a stunt, folks. Like I swear this is not something we planned. Like there were some issues pre-show. We thought we had them all fixed, but It looks like we lost Mark's video feed. Hopefully, we don't lose his audio.
We're gonna make that a sound effect. Connection into
Right here. I've got something that we can do for it. Here we go.
We're back.
There we go. We're back minus Mark, but yeah, we've got the TV static effect. I have that ready to go on a regular basis.
Oh shoot.
But yeah, so best ongoing games as a service, you got to give it to EA, right, with the Ultimate Team, even though it's not like they're just breaking in the dough.
So let's look and see how much Call of Duty has earned
off of like Warzone.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no way it's anywhere near that. No way. Okay, yeah. So Activision, in its own report, reported $891 million in revenue for quarter ending March 31st of 2021. It's a 72% increase year over year. So it's a 70%, a little bit over a 70% jump. But that's still like pales in comparison. That's like EA's double that.
Easy. And most of it's soccer. Yeah. So
let's see. V-Bucks from Epic. Like how much money is Fortnite made? Wait, you ready for this? Mark, are you still with us?
I think he's
there. We got nothing. I don't know if he can hear us or not, but yeah, like I don't think he can hear. He may be able to hear us, but we cannot hear him. But Fortnite, $9 billion in the first 2 years. So
are you serious?
Yeah.
Can I
5.1 billion in revenue just in 2020.
Can I just live off the interest for that?
Right. Yeah. So I'll put this out in the Twitterverse as well, for you guys to take a look at if you're watching and you're interested in this amount. As we continue to talk about games as a service, like $9 billion in revenue.
And speaking of games, like the service, I wish the UFC and wrestling would keep constant updates.
I'm amazed that 2K hasn't done it with the WWE games at this point. But the last WWE game was so bad that they probably were like, yeah, we're not doing that.
Which one was that?
2K21? Or was it 2K20? 2K20 maybe?
Oh no, do I have that one? Oh no, I gotta look. I gotta look. See, that's another thing about having this. I gotta go behind this to find out if I had a game. Like I don't went to GameStop, and I was like, all right, let me see what game I don't have. And I come home and I got 2 copies of the same game already. So
you need to put a spreadsheet together.
I do. Because they always give me the new releases and the used games and store on a printout.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, look at this.
Yeah, so the WWE games, the last one was 2K20.
Oh, that wasn't the one with what's her name on the front?
The man, Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
Yeah, Becky Lynch and Roman Reigns were on the cover.
Man, shout out to Roman, man. The guy beat cancer.
Yeah, multiple times, right?
Yeah.
2 times. So Mark's been having some technical issues, so hopefully we get him back. He's not MIA for an extended period of time. But we are at that point where we need to kind of wrap up the show because we're approaching that 2-hour point, right? Longer than usual, but some good conversation. If you've been watching the show and you have any comments, feel free to hit us up on social media at CONINT pod on Twitter. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/CONINT pod. We've got all kinds of information that'll be coming out. we talked about this before Tay hopped in, but we need to get going on the Tay's hot or not.
Hey,
So
you know what?
got-
The first hot or not, we're gonna do the backbone.
All right, yeah, the backbone. Tay's hot or not for the backbone.
Yeah. So.
We just got a message from Mark. His PC is not liking life.
That's not the same one he games on, right?
It is. It is. So hopefully he can get it figured out.
Wow.
But unfortunately, he's having some technical issues again. Check out the Las Vegas Inferno Brawl at the Bonfire. That event coming up soon. You can also register for that at virtualreload.com, Brawl at the Bonfire. Scrolling across the bottom of your screen there. It's a full custom lobbies, private lobbies, 150 players, Battlefy bracket, presented by Game Day, $500 prize pool, Trios Warzone tournament. That should be pretty sick. I know Mark was talking about getting some people together and possibly doing that. Hopefully his computer's up and going. But we appreciate everybody for stopping by. Frisch's, again, thank you for your continued support. For those of you that are there, here's Mark.
Yeah, he's
sad
sorry,
panda.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, sorry, Mark. Hopefully everything gets figured out and we can get him back up and running before our next show.
He said I'm hearing spirit via iPhone. Hey, we appreciate it.
Yeah, we're sad that your PC just kind of crapped out. We thought we had figured out all those tech issues early, but looks like the bugs are back around. So hopefully we can get it figured out. Yeah, so lots of information, lots of things. We're gonna get back to you very, very quickly with some new content. I have a One's Gotta Go that's still in the pipeline. We have the hot or not that's coming. We have a retro rewind with Mike Tyson's Punch Out that's still out there. We have some highlights from some Fortnite. The three of us are going to try to figure out a time to get together, play some Fortnite together as well. The holiday weekend kind of threw everything for a loop there. Yeah, yes. Everything kind of messed up there. But we're looking forward to seeing you guys. And if you have any topics that you want us to tackle on the next Connection Interruption podcast, please reach out via social media. Let us know. Follow us. As always, at CONINT pod right there. Be sure to give us a follow. Again, thanks to Frisch's big boy.
For dinner. Yes, for dinner tonight.
Yeah. And I know DoorDash, most locations are already closed, but definitely hop on DoorDash to get yourself a big boy next time you got that craving while you're gaming. Get that big boy and onion rings for your gaming snack. So again, thank you to them. Thanks to Game Day. We appreciate y'all. And we will see everybody next time for the Connection Interruption podcast. I'm Touched Artist.
I'm DJ Tay Boogie. If anybody want any of this smoke, come holler at me.
Dude,
okay.
Straight up, I'm tempted. If it's on sale, I'm downloading it. I'm gonna smoke you. It's
all
on.
right. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, it's on. All right. So, and for Swing Live.
Hey, hold on. We got to do his wave.
Swing says, "Thanks, Game Day."
Hold on. We're gonna do his wave. What's
his
wave?
His wave. Swing. Wave. We'll do the swing wave.
Swing wave.
All right. And we'll see you guys for the next episode here in 2 weeks, but we will have tons of content for you this coming week, and we will see you guys next time.